We don't often show a behind the scenes of the Padel School and what's going on. So I thought today we'd do a bit of a day in the life of and take you around all that we've got on today. And first up, this is my new 2025, I don't want to say resolution because it brings a ring to it as if you're going to stop in January, but this is my new aim for 2025 is to play more training matches and to have more sessions myself. And so that's what I'm going to do this morning. Have a nice little English breakfast tea to get me going, and I'll take you along for the journey. I'm a bit of an early bird and I'm not going to bore you with my morning routine, but I try and get up early, cup of tea, do a little bit of reading if I can, and then crack on with the day. And this is the first match that I've played for a while this morning, so I'm also making sure I've got my kit sorted, making sure like there's nothing worse than playing a match and not having your towel or a sweatband or a grip or things that you need during a game. So yeah, sorting that out, and then I will be on my way. I'll go and join Tom. I'm playing with Tom this morning, which I always enjoy. It's one of those, people always say to us, oh, well, brothers working together or playing together, it must be difficult, must be frustrating at times. And I think because I've known him so well, I coached him as a kid in tennis and worked together with him all the time. We know each other really well. We know the times to push a little bit. We know the times to pull back. And so it's fun. I enjoy it. And as my playing career is kind of going down, as I'm doing more coaching, I'm really mainly using these times for fun, to try and enjoy the game again. One of the things is when you get to a high level in anything, it's quite difficult then to play that sport for fun. I found that in tennis, that every time you go on, you play competitive sets. And so these will be competitive sets this morning, but I will be going with the purpose of having fun. I'm on my way to Epsom this morning, got a training match with Tom. So playing with Tom in this match against one of the British players, Chris Salisbury, and Max Holloway, the ball paddle distributor, but also a very good player as well. And I'm really looking forward to just playing some fun, competitive tournaments, using a bit of Alex Hormozy on the podcast to pump me up for the game. And well, pardon the pun, because his podcast is called The Game. And yeah, I'm looking forward to playing my first game for a while, so I will be focusing on just getting the ball in, basically. Got the club to ourselves. Young Tom is here already, as expected. Training, well, stretching, warming up. Probably not too disappointed that I'm late.
I see you set this up on Playtomic, Max. I think it's my first Playtomic match.
Yeah,
I did it just so that you guys had the notification or...
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it's like ranking one.
I was quite excited. It's the first time I've been invited to a Playtomic game.
I had to pay for a book it then said add people to it.
Oh, okay. So I was getting my Playtomic rating on the line.
Now I can focus on that. God, this is quite tight. Feel like Austin Powers. Just finished up there our match, which was nice. It was great to get out there, play some points. You probably, I don't know if you could see from the video, but it was cold in there. With new courts, whenever you get new courts in a club, the courts always take a little bit of time to play in. It usually takes a couple of weeks of people playing in. And what happens is it essentially spreads the sand and closes the air gaps. And so the first couple of weeks you get quite a lot of bad bounces, but you also don't get the rebound that you will do. And so there was a bit of that, but so nice to play indoors. Like the height was decent. We got, 4 good players, so we got a good game out of it. I'm glad I'm going to be doing more of that, and really my objective in that match was to make balls. Always, I play on the right now, and so I play a much more conservative style game anyway. I'm trying to control the pace, I'm using the lob, Chiquita, trying to move the ball around. And when I play with Tom, it's great. He's very physical, a lot of power, can hit the aggressive shots really well, and so I let him do that basically. I let him play aggressive, and that's really the job of a right court player, is to set the point up so the left court player can finish and can be aggressive. And so that's what I was focusing on there. It's what I generally always focus on as a right court player, and today it was making lots of balls, and because it was cold, you had to really hit your lob. I hit a few short lobs at the beginning and then realised I really need to hit through the ball a bit more in order to get the depth. Same with the Chiquita. I made a couple of Chiquitas early on, and usually it's a strength of mine, but you just have to hit them a little bit harder to get them where you want to go, and it's just adapting your game to the conditions. And it's something happens on the other way around. If you play in faster conditions, you know, hot environment, altitude, you need less on the lob, and it's just being aware of your surroundings. So love that game. Gonna go back. I've got to chop up and I say manage a lot of content that we've made over the past few days for some of our courses. Got a couple of calls, and yeah, so I'll take you with me to the office. I wish it was the actual office. How cool would that be? David Brent in there, just hanging out.
Ooh, you're hard showing off.
So, I've gone the wrong way here. Okay, that's better. Little U-turn, now I'm sorted. Arguably, most important part of the day is a coffee. If you listen to any of our podcasts, you'll know how I feel about coffee. And so I want to make sure that is on point. Not sponsored by Sage, but would love to be sponsored by Sage. So I had a couple of calls there, exciting things. Those are one with a company in the US and one with South Africa. Watch this space, a few exciting announcements to be coming up. And exciting, I got my passport back this morning with my visa for the US, so you will be seeing a lot more of me in the US and Tom over this next period. And we see it as an exciting market for paddle and paddle growth and education, things like that. So just finished working on some videos here, finished the calls, gonna get my stuff together and head back to the club where I'm gonna be doing a training session. The only thing with filming and coaching is you end up with so much junk. I say junk, but it's like baskets of balls, cameras, tripods. I almost need a caravan. So when we talk about training session, my training session this afternoon is with Ryan Thomas. You may have seen a couple of our videos before. We've ended up doing a few sessions together now. Yeah, I really like working with him. It's interesting, he's got no racket sports background. As a coach, there are extra challenges there in terms of even like tennis players are so used to things like split step and positioning around the ball and striking in the middle of the racket. And there's lots of things that when you come from, and when I say tennis background, I don't mean a recreational tennis background. I mean like competitive, like you played to club level, county, national, whatever, but there's certain things that come with being a good tennis player. And if you don't come from racket sports background, it's fine. You don't have to unlearn some of the other habits that come with it, but you have to spend a bit longer on things like timing your split step, opening, like preparing the racket. And it just, one of the things I really like about Ryan is that he's spent so long doing things like dancing on ice, which, he won last season, and he's a lot of choreography with that. So he's very good at following direction, and you just have to show him the movement, teach him the movement. He learns it quite quickly. Yeah, this afternoon we're probably going to go. It's been a little while, it's been a few months, and I'm sure some habits have crept in through no fault of his own, but when you go back to a club or playing with your mates, you end up picking up a few bad habits, and no doubt it's going to be around preparation with the racket, getting into the right position. So we'll do a little bit of that, and I think, you know, we'll take a little bit more of a look on how to structure points in terms of, you know, serve, come forward to the right position, getting a good first volley. If you can get players to start the points well, they often continue the points well. So that's what we'll be doing this afternoon in the training session, but let's see how it goes. Okay, let's have a look at this. So, did you see the YouTube videos we did or not? Yeah. Yeah. So one of them, well, you always do when you're watching yourself, but it's like, did you see the serve one? Yeah. That's come out. So it's that hinge up here. When you did the hinge up here and you swung through to your contact waist height, it was good. It's when it becomes a flick that's the problem. So let's have a look. So at the moment you're there, you're stepping over and walking into your serve. So like set your feet up.
Yeah,
so
move then.
You do, but what happens is you drop in front, and then naturally your body weight will go through.
Where do you position yourself when you serve? Where do you like to?
So me, like if I'm playing normal formation and I'm going into here,
yeah.
I'll be midway from glass to centre line. I'll position myself like this, and I'll almost put body weight on back foot. I drop in front, and then when I come through, it's because I've contacted and hit that I go through. I'm not thinking, oh, I must step here. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to drop in, and my body weight takes me forward because I'm dropping in front. Just finished that session with Ryan, and it's one of the things I love about coaching is, and it's so rewarding, and it's so much more rewarding in tennis than it was in paddle, because you can make so many kind of quick, effective changes so quickly and improve people's games so quickly. And you know, today we did work a little bit on coming forward, and I spotted something on the backhand with the back glass, and I wanted to, one of the nice things, we had a couple of hours, I wanted to really hammer that and make sure that we got into good habits. And like I said before, he's very good at changing and adapting the technique, and he was doing a good job of changing that. It's almost like we just got to get muscle memory repetition of him doing that. And he said during the session he'd like to look at the serve as well, and so our plan was almost to evolve it with the serve into the volley, but we spent more time on the technique and therefore didn't end up doing that. But we've got another session soon that we would then move into serve and first volley, for example, and putting it into game situations. And it's one of those things that I said before about people from racket sports, but the serve, you would think the serve is a very easy technique. It's very simple, and if you start off in the right positions, with the hand in the one position, you drop the ball in the same position, it should produce the same result. And really interesting, this is the first time I've seen this in a lesson, and that's saying something, because I mean, I give thousands of lessons around the world, is that he was misjudging the timing of when to start from the back of the swing. So he's getting the racket back in the right position, looking all good, and sometimes he would swing a bit earlier or a bit later, or release the racket at a different point. And this is one of those things that tennis players would never do, because you're so used to feeding the ball to your opponent to start or in a rally, that everyone does that. Even recreational tennis players are, to start a rally, they feed the ball underarm, and that's essentially what the serve is. But if you've not done that, then it requires a little bit of kind of training in terms of, you know, mentally when to start the swing, and, you know, getting into the habit of that. So that actually took a little bit longer to train and to fix than I was anticipating, and that's just one of the things with coaching is, you know, some players they pick some things up really fast, like Ryan, he picks up
certain things really quickly. You know, around that back glass, he picked that up quite quickly with the backhand, using the lob off the back glass. And then some things a little bit slower. Everyone is different, and this is why coaches always need to take a more individual approach to players. And this is another reason why listening to your friends about what they did with their technique to help improve their game was, you know, it's almost like it's just bad news once you start doing that. And even he was saying, oh, my friends said I should do this. And I almost feel like saying, please do not listen to a single thing that your friend at the club tells you to do about how they learn their back glass shot or their serve or something like that, because it doesn't necessarily mean it translates to your game. And not only will it not help, but it also could create a bad habit. Now, the difficulty is that he doesn't have access to good coaching in that part of the UK, and so when they say, well, where should I go, it's difficult, and the answer is the Padel School platform. But yeah, it's difficult. I appreciate it's difficult if you can't find the coaching. You often listen to friends who are doing, you know, they're doing it out of, you know, love. They're doing it from a place of trying to help you, but they just don't know themselves, and so you know, that's always difficult. I'm on my way back to the office now. I've got a couple more calls, with our team, our coaching team, one with a video editor and one with another coach, and then I need to continue chopping that up. I will head back to the office now and wrap up the day.